right here on Pure West Radio. It is that time of the week. It is Friday, Feel Good Friday, and also our time to catch up with the lovely Bill Carne from Pembrokeshire Sport. Bore da to you. How are you doing?
Bore da to Gina and Tom. Well, it's a misty day, but it's the start of a very, very busy sporting weekend, I can tell you
Ooh,
that.
well, bank holiday weekend, isn't it,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well?
well, yeah, but it's not even the Monday, strangely enough. It's the
Ah,
Saturday and Sunday, yeah.
is that
It,
because we got the crossover with the cricket and the rugby and
Oh,
sort of everything trying to go on?
you've hit the nail on the head, Gina. It's absolutely mad. There are 12 Rugby Cup finals, would you believe, this weekend, and still more to come, as well as the Senior Cup final in football, which is the Blue Ribbon event, and a full programme of cricket on Sunday, along with 10 of those rugby finals.
Ooh,
Lovely
wow.
day out in Crymych. Starts at 10, carries on till it's finished. Under 8s to start, right through to under 16s, a real festival organised by the inimitable man Ken Davis.
Fantastic. So much going on. You've just mentioned there actually probably the highlight of the local football season, that Senior Cup final, Bill. It's tomorrow.
Yeah, all roads will lead to the Oggy Bridge Meadow Stadium. A little warning to people if they are going, Tom, get there early because there is a number limited on the ground at the moment because of the seating there. So if you're going, go early, I would suggest.
And just to give a bit of a preview then, Bill, I know we did this last week. In fact, everyone's been talking about it for the last 3 or 4 weeks now. But who is in that final and what can we expect?
Well, Goodwick United have been in the final for nearly a month. They won their semi-final weeks and weeks ago against Kilgetty. Then the other semi-final between Moncton and I'll come to you in a minute. That was postponed twice and then finally played. So that Moncton are playing against Goodwick, and it's interesting. I did a little preview on my website with Gordon, Pembrokeshire Sport, and we asked 11 managers and pundits, and 10 of them went for Goodwick. So only one for Moncton. So Moncton are underdogs, but they're a good team, and they can play on their day as well as anybody in the league.
And
They're a wonderful side.
And they've had a bit of a topsy-turvy season, but that when it comes to a cup final, that almost doesn't matter, does it?
They've missed out with some boys through injury. Key players like Ben Steele, Declan Carroll, Martin Carroll, they need them there. It's a bonny side. Dylan Davis is a fine goal scorer. So on their day, if they can get a good start, they could well upset Goodwick. It's still 1-on-1 for a cup final. You know what it's like. Anyone can win on their day,
Yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. And talking of winning on the day, fast forward just a couple of weeks. We don't have to wait long for another big cup final, but Hakin also flying that flag for us as well.
Hakin have had a wonderful season. At the moment, their seconds have won their league and cup in Division 2, which is an amazing feat when you think they could get promoted if it was allowed into the top echelon. It's not allowed for obvious reasons. But the first have yet to win anything, although they've featured in every competition they've been involved in, including the Welsh Cup. They've flown the flag. So they'll be going to, now you would have a new name for it. It's still the Liberty Stadium for me. I've only just converted from the old Vetch Field. So they travel to play there against a Swansea side, Penlan, who are top of and very hot favourites to win the West Wales Premier League. So that's a newly formed league with clubs from all over West Wales, other than Pembrokeshire at the moment. So they'll go there as potential underdogs, but Hakin are no respect as a reputation as they prove. And I'm going to go and watch with Gordon. We've already booked our places there. Nice. And we'll be cheering the Vikings on with unashamed good humour. So it'll be nice. It'll be a tough game. Penlan have got a vociferous set of supporters. Hakin can match that. So all to play for Scott Davis and his boys there. That's on the 11th, on May the 11th, that is.
Right. May the 11th. And then just very quickly, actually, the fixture tomorrow, it's a 2:30 kickoff. So when you're saying get there early, get there well in advance of 2:30. It's an afternoon kickoff. It's no evening thing.
It's 2:30, but they need to be there because they are counting the numbers, and the league have been given that the instruction of the number that are there. I can't tell you what that is. And it's just, Haverfordwest would like to have that number. But get there early. We'll be getting there early. And Tom, you're going to join Gordon and me for lunch tomorrow.
I am.
With the referees, the old tradition, we go and support the refs before the game.
I think that's fantastic because there's been so much in the Pure West Sports Show on a Monday evening with yourself, Bill, catching up with referees throughout the season, and they're saying about these numbers. But the one thing that shines through in all of the interviews that you've had over the season is the camaraderie that they all share throughout the divisions, typically Division 1s and 2s. But they do share, they do talk. But when you're refereeing a match in Hakin, it means that you can't see someone down in Manorbier or something.
Right.
So it's a nice at the end of the season for all the referees to come together and share some stories as to what's happening.
Yeah, it started a while ago. Sean O'Connor has a quiz there, which is far too difficult for you and I suspect, is on the rules of the game, the laws of the game. But they all go there. Sean Jenkins is the referee tomorrow. His brother Stefan and Neil Crawshaw, the assistants. So we wish them every success. I hope they have as enjoyable a day as the players.
Yeah. And and I really, really do hope so. And there are other cup finals going on, Bill.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
and it's funny because sorry, Bill, I'm cutting over you, but they're familiar names as well. You just mentioned Hakin in Division 2, but Moncton further down the divisions as well. The cup, it does bring up surprises, but there's also no surprises in equal measure.
That's right. In the end, Goodwick were comfortable winners over Moncton, Swift seconds. I mean, it's a bit of a sad indictment of football, I suppose, in a way, that 2 second teams were in the final of the Second Division Cup, which is, the second tier of Pembrokeshire football. And that was a good game. I watched that 4-1, that was. And there was an even bigger score last night because St Clair's reserves and Colchester reserves played in the final of Division 5 Cup. And Gina's been around sport all her life. She knows. For those boys, it is every bit as important a match to play in as the Senior Cup final tomorrow. Yeah. That was played at Moncton Lane last night. It wasn't a match that ended in a thrilling last-second winner because Kosh reserves had 1 and St Clair's reserves had 7. So disappointment for Kosh, but they got the final. And I'd say to a boys, you've got to a final where some didn't. So enjoy that.
Yeah. The excitement of a cup run is, it doesn't matter what division you're in. You're still the excitement of that knockout cup. If we win this one, we're into the next one. Then you're into the next one. The excitement's still there regardless, isn't it?
Absolutely. And there's still cups galore in rugby. I've mentioned in Crymych tomorrow, they'll be guaranteed a lovely welcome. They do it in style, Crymych. Clubs, volunteered to take this role on. It's all day. There's food provided. There's all sorts of facilities like bouncy castles, very often things for kids who want to go and play while their brothers and sisters are playing. And then on tomorrow, on Saturday afternoon, there's a bonus because the Youth Cup finals are going to be played. The plate final will be played at 4:30 at Crickmarren in Pembroke. And then the plate event in that, the youth final, will be played after that at 6:30. And the youth plate final is Crymych against Haverfordwest. Crymych have just won the league title, so they'll be hot favourites for that. And in the youth final, Aberystwyth play against Tenby. And Aber came second in the league. They'll be favourites for that. But Tenby have got a good side as well. So great time for the kids this weekend to play rugby. Marvellous.
Yeah. Right. And I'm going to bring Gina in here because you've got a family member that's playing rugby at the moment, and the aspirations of a young girl playing rugby and seeing these finals. Is that something that Poppy's aspiring to?
Oh, she's loving it, and obviously, like, the ladies are doing so well now, and they've had so many opportunities and getting themselves to Principality. It's a fun, exciting time actually in rugby, especially for girls and ladies as well. Yeah.
And what you see, Gina, is in those finals at Crymych on Sunday. What you see is young girls playing rugby against, in teams with the fellas up until the prescribed age where they have to stop.
Yeah.
And playing really well. Some of the clubs there will have 2, 3, plus 4 girls in their squad of 10.
Yeah.
So that's great to see, and long may that continue. And eventually one day have a girls' finals day. That would be the aim.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah. And all these finals days, and we were talking about Whitland and Haverfordwest ladies in the Principality Stadium. Of course, over the weekend, you had county representatives playing in the Principality Stadium as well. I didn't realise the Principality Stadium opened its doors so much, but there's been local boys playing up there as well.
Yeah, under 11s and under 15s. I think the Welsh Rugby have come around to the idea that it's not a palace, it's a rugby ground.
Yeah.
And there have been a lot of matches there played this year, right across the age groups, the schools, the youth, and seniors, giving people a chance to experience the joy of being there. The Haverfordwest and Whitland ladies will say they will never, ever forget that day.
Yeah. Well, it's a massive opportunity, though, isn't it? It's like a singer singing in the Royal Albert Hall. You know, it's that opportunity for kids as well to go there, to say, wow, we were there and I want to do that again as an adult. You know,
Gina,
it's
hit
that.
It right on the head. Yeah, right on the head.
But Yori Williams, Wyndham's son, he represented the county in the Principality Stadium. He's never scored for the county before. His first ever try for the county is at Principality Stadium. You don't forget things like that.
No, he was captain as well of the team, and they played really well. They're a lovely bunch of youngsters. They're totally committed. It's great to see. And as well, don't forget this weekend, Tom, there's a full programme of fixtures at senior level as well on Saturday.
It's and we'll move forward to there actually. In fact, Principality Stadium, the Swansea v Cardiff varsity match was taking place at the same time as all these county honours, and they were put in the Cardiff Farms Park so that the WRU age rangers could take the palace, as you just called it, the rugby field with all the seats around it. And I just loved that these semi-professionals weren't inside the Principality, but future rugby sports heroes were all playing there. And what an incentive.
Yeah, that's right. And, that's where I would applaud the Welsh Rugby. We're starting to think ahead to others besides the national team. That's correct. Now, with playing Pontypool tomorrow, there's a big game at home.
That's a huge game.
Unbeaten all the season. They're a mighty team again. They will win that section easily. Narberth got their hands full there, that's for sure. Do you want a quick rundown on some of the others, both of you?
Let's do it. We've talked about the youth. Yeah. Let's have a look at these seniors.
Right. Well, Crymych are at home in Division 1, are still unbeaten, proudly carrying that banner through. They are already promoted, so they'll be playing against Narberth next year. They entertain Penclough, who are bottom but one, so that should be a big win for the Preseli boys. Whitland travelled to Gorsinan and Pembroke travelled to Newcastle Emlyn. So tough games there, respectively, against the 4th and 3rd teams. So they're going to be hard games. Division 2 West, Fishguard and Goodwick, the Seagulls are home to Kidwelly. That's another tough one for them. Milford are 11th and they play Mumbles, who are 4th. So they got battles. And the game of the day, I think, in a way, Pontypool, who were top of Division 2 against Tenby United, who've miraculously moved through and now second. So the Bond could be favourites there. Yeah. Jonathan Evans done a great job as coach. So they're a very good young side there. And in Division 3 West, Haverfordwest are at home to St David's. Neyland are at home to Cardigan. Pembroke Harlequins entertain Aberteiron. And Langham travel to St Clair's, who are top, and they're a good side. They'll take some stopping. So there's a full programme there. There are a couple of results in the week. Neyland won 41-7 at Langham. Luke Rivers-Dawes, the prop, had 2 tries there. And Larne beat Haverfordwest 26-13. So it's going on all the time. When will it end?
Not yet. There's still over four weeks of rugby to go into the cricket season, as you mentioned last week. And there's a full weekend of cricket to go as well.
There is indeed. It started last weekend. There was almost a full programme. All the first division played. In the second division, Kilgetty missed out. Their pitch was wet against Johnson, so that was off, which is a pity, because Kilgetty are a good side and wanted a good start. In the first division, some interesting games, Tom and Gina. Not least Saundersfoot and Criselli. Saundersfoot won by 4 runs at Narberth last week. Narberth wanted 6 off the last ball and didn't get it. And Criselli seemed to be setting out their banner, whatever you score, we'll get more than you. Burton went there as newly promoted last week. Toby Heyman hit an amazing 158 not out, and Burton got a massive 252. And Criselli reached it with an over and a half still to go. Nick Cook came in. They wanted something like 60 in 4 overs, and he hit 6 sixes. End of story. Carew lost last week, and they're playing Narberth, who lost as well. So one of those will get off the ground. Herbranston entertained Neyland. Herbie had a big defeat last week in their first game there. and Neyland won in the lowest scoring game of the day against St Ishmael's. So you'd have to go for Neyland there. Langham started well. They beat Carew. Gina, you'll be sorry to hear last week. Yeah, and they're at home to the Rennie, who also won. So that's a good game to watch there. Somersfoot room to Criselli, and St Ishmael's are against Burton. They both lost. That'll be an interesting game. And quickly in Division 2, Criselli seconds play Clechrid. They both lost last week. Hook entertained Pembroke Dock. Johnson get their first game then at home against Haverfordwest. Local derby there. Llanrhian are at home, having won their first game against Carew seconds, who lost heavily. And Whitland are at home to Kilgetty. So lots of cricket. There's 6 divisions this year. So that's on Sunday alongside the junior playoffs. Where you're going to go,
Right.
toss a coin and find out.
Find
Yeah.
out.
What's the weather looking like for the weekend? I haven't looked. Is it looking good?
I think Saturday is okay. I think Sunday there's some rain.
Ah.
So
Oh, yes.
the rugby will go on in cricket.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the cricket, that means that some clubs might be disappointed. Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. All we can
Well,
say.
The pitches might be a little bit wet again. That's the thing. They might
Well,
have
that's it.
dried out. Yeah.
Then you're not taking much to get them wet again, Gina, because underneath the topsoil there's a lot of wet. That's for sure.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
fingers crossed that they all do go ahead. Anyway.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, and you mentioned there, Bill, and it's something that I didn't appreciate until coming here to the radio. Is that there's 6 divisions. It's not just it's not an exclusive sport, cricket. If you want to give it a go, there's probably a village club near you that would welcome new members because they've all got different teams.
absolutely. I mean, if you look at it, Haverfordwest have got 4 teams. Criselli got 3. Other clubs, Carew have got 3. And there's if you look. Last week, for example, I can tell you there's a friend of my daughter's son was playing. Her Brownston first had 2 boys there who were 13 and 14.
Oh wow!
They're good enough to play like at that age,
Yeah.
So it's and they're playing alongside fellas who are 55, 60 perhaps.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is what I found. I played for Pembroke in the first division. And in the seconds, Pembroke seconds, as I got a bit older in Division 4, I played for Stackpool in Division 2 and Division 3, and I played 1 season at Pembroke Dock in Division 2 as well. And you find your level. When I finished in Stackpool, I played for the first team. I kept wicket till in the end, opening the batting and keeping wicket. Gina, I used to go to school on a Monday, and I could hardly climb the stairs into school.
Yeah.
And then I played for the seconds, and it was 5 overs less to start with, but a less serious game of cricket. There's no neutral umpires. It's just people go along and enjoy the game. That's what it should be. Yeah.
And have tea.
Tea was back last week, let me tell you.
Oh, lovely. Oh, what did you have and where was it then?
I'm not telling you what I had, but it was in the...
Oh, very good teas there then.
They're back this year with a bang.
Lovely.
So, and clubs, once they get back into the routine, it is a part of... I know I get teas, but it is a part... Teas, that's very good, isn't it? It is a part of cricket, which makes it a special game because, Cliff would know all the people he played against very well.
Yes, yeah.
Because they sat down and had a chat. They'd have a glass of beer after. And it is that social part of the cricket.
It's bringing the team together, isn't it? It's part of the game, Bill.
Yeah, it's right. You're right. And this week I got to be on best behaviour, I think, because I let myself down a bit last week.
Oh.
Don't tell Mrs. Carne.
Oh.
Secret safe with us, Bill. Don't you worry. So, Bill, we know that you're at the Bridge Meadow Stadium tomorrow. Because you're going for lunch beforehand. What else is your pick? I think you mentioned, Ponta Light Tembe, you're away, unfortunately. So, what's your pick of something local to go and watch?
Well, Pontypool has to be the game with Narberth. That's a high quality game of rugby. There is absolutely no doubt of that, Tom. In the other games, I enjoy. I got to say, I enjoy watching Division 3 West A as much as the other games. Last week, I watched Langham play at home to Haverfordwest, and it was so physical. They were making limbs there on a Monday. With your nephew, he must ache on a Monday because he likes physical contact, and it's a great way to enjoy that. So every game, I think, has its own merits. I mean, I think sometimes people forget, apart from Narberth, people are playing for fun. And it's the same in cricket, and there shouldn't be any of this nonsense with referees sometimes. Or they're playing for fun. They're not playing, I'm going to lose £100,000 on the result or stupid stuff like that. And they should respect the referees and the opposition and just be best of pals.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. So go out and support your community sports. There's plenty of it going on there.
Do you know, I feel like I've played all of the sports already this morning. I've gone through so many. Exhausted.
And that doesn't include athletics and netball and golf. There's
And
hundreds of people out. Bowls is a cracking game to play. And that's got a social ethos as well as a very competitive side. I know a lot of people who've gone from playing rugby or football or hockey or netball and have gone to play bowls and love every second of it.
Yeah, indeed.
Amazing.
Right then. So, have we come to the end of the sport?
I think so.
It's my favourite time then of the morning, Bill. Every Friday morning, I love to find out what your Feel Good Friday track is, and there's always a little story behind it. So, what have you got for us today?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that, and you're glad it's all over because I talk too much. So
never,
not at all. Not at all.
There's so much to talk about. That's the thing.
Well, today, when you walk in the room, is our choice by the searchers. And I've seen them probably 5 or 6 times. There are 2 of them, 3 of them are still the original searchers. Paul Pender's not there anymore, but some of the others. And until COVID, they were still, going to the ground in Swansea and Cardiff to St David's Hall every year, and full houses. A lot of them our age, or my age, but some youngsters like you or even younger. So they're back in action again now. I mean, we're going to see the Furies in a couple of weeks' time in the Torch. The Irish, they are superb, and they're still going strong. They're even older than I am.
That's incredible.
But when you walk in the room by the searchers, better than needles and pins are.
There we are. Well, thank you, Bill. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your meal out as well.
Thank you.
Back on those teas. Just enjoy a cup of tea and maybe just a cucumber sandwich. Enjoy the week, and we'll have your tune next. Yeah,
thank you. When you're walking, and just so you know as well, Mr. Dyer is being treated by Messrs. Carne and Thomas.
Which I'm very grateful for. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to being in that room tomorrow and spending some face-to-face time with you, Bill. Yes, so here's to tomorrow lunchtime.
Yeah, I only mentioned it not to embarrass Tom. There are some cheeky blighters who think we go there and get a free meal off the referees. We don't do that.
No. Well, we'll talk more tomorrow, Bill, and we'll catch up again next Friday for the Pembrokeshire Sports Update with Bill Carne. A pleasure as always. And in fact, very quickly, Bill, who are we hearing from on Monday evening?
Well, we've got a couple of interesting people there. I've spoken to Richard Howell, who's talking to us about the Ken Morris Cup, which is sort of growing in popularity every year. Fishguard are joining this year. Clubs want to play in that. And I'm also talking to Matthew Kelly, who takes the photographs superbly at the Bridge Meadow, but he's also part of his former teacher, and he now works with youngsters who have left school, who would like to be involved in sport but don't know what they want to do, and they run a course for them. It's far more relaxed than school, where they can then go into school as LSAs and help with sport, or they can get a coaching certificate, which will take them into sport. So we're talking to him about that as well. So it'll be nice. Yeah, different.
Right. Fantastic. And Fraser's catching up with Milford pupil Jaden Crawford and his teacher Martin Edwards. He's just made the full Wales under-13 squad in football. So loads to catch up on a Monday evening. The Pure Sport Show with Ethan Evans and Morris Listers. The future's bright for Pembrokeshire Sport, Bill.
Yeah, Martin Edwards is an interesting character. He's from Crimach as well, speaking. He was a very good rugby player with Newcastle Emlyn and Crimach. And now he's teaching football in Milford Haven, my old school. So well done, Mart. Keep up the good work. Yeah.
Keep up the good work, indeed. We have got the Searchers with When You Walk in the Room. It's just gone 7:30. Thank you, Bill.
Take care, both. Bye-bye. Have a nice weekend.
Feel Good Friday with Pems Paving. Your one-stop shop for driveways,